Hello and welcome in. This video is for Smiley Bones. It is their Patreon request. We're doing the Goblin Slayer opening, the full version. This is Rightfully by Mili. Now, I don't have any Goblin Slayer reaction content on the Patreon because it was made known to me that the first episode had some like tasteless out-of-pocket stuff in there. So I ended up watching episodes 1, 2, and 3 offline. And yeah, I don't understand the artistic direction of why that was included in the first episode, considering you just don't need to do it. However, episodes 2 and 3 were legit, man. I'm a Dungeons & Dragons nerd. I've been playing D&D for a long time, since Basic, the Orange Book. If you're old like me, you know what the Orange Book is. And it was funny because my first game, I played with a neighbor kid. He got me into it. And I was a ranger, and I legitimately thought I was a park ranger like that. That's what my character class was. I was a kid, though. So anyway, the next Christmas, I got this. Check out this bad boy. Advanced D&D Player's Handbook, back when THAC0 was a thing, man. Now check out the insert. I'll read it. You know what? I'll just show it to you. It says, "To Tony, with love from Graham, Christmas 1991. There we go. And look right here. Pork and Beans. That was my high school rock band. Like, apparently I thought like, oh yeah, I should put that in my D&D book. That makes us legit. You know, I like D&D. However, I'm like a 3.5 type of guy. And Pathfinder, 4th edition killed it for me. I don't know, man. You don't need to make a game so accessible and dumbed down sound. I mean, I get speeding things up, but like, you don't need to like log in. You don't need to create a character and be like a half dragon at like level 1 and have 18 million powers. Like, it's okay to be like a commoner and like earn your way. Less is more, man. Anyway, I'm excited. Let's go.
Chain unto me my adolescent dreams.
Oh.
Pulling, drives me deep. All my body exposed.
Nice use of space.
Marked up by your shadows. Tightened up from your senses, no.
Where are we going? Wow. Okay, let's talk about the beginning. This is absolutely gorgeous. The tempo is very slow for a while, at least. We're in a 3/4 meter, and it's almost like a chorale with strings. It's very open and gorgeous. Oh, the arrangement's so good. It's very legato, thinking water over rocks. Big, smooth connections. It's like the voice leading is full of suspensions and resolutions, and it's very nice the way it's laid out. But we're going to resolve cadentially right here. And then we change.
Chain unto me my adolescent dreams.
What a shift. The tempo shifts. We're now at the different meter. We're in 4/4. And we have a pattern interrupt because in the beginning, everything was so legato, so smooth. So now we have a disconnect. We have a little bit of staccato. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. That's complete contrast compared to what we had for the first like 18 seconds. Let's hear this transition again.
Chain unto me my adolescent dreams.
And we have like a soloistic style string player there, kind of responding to all the vocal lines. So a complete shift in everything, the way the harmonic function, the rhythm, just almost the style too. And we know in like another 10 seconds it's going to shift again. This is very, very cool. Some percussion going on, digital percussion.
All my body exposed.
We get the glissando, the electric bass, and then there's space. It's a great use of open space because you're just pulling. You're already pulling the listener in because we started with the string chorale. It's in 3. It's super slow. We switched to 4. We have the like pattern interrupt, but now the floor completely drops out. It almost feels like time goes away. It doesn't. Time is still moving. But if you're just passively listening, you're gonna be like, wait, what's going on? And you're gonna pull your attention back in. That is great score design.
Body exposed. Marked up by your shadows.
And now let's keep going.
Tightened up from your senses, no fairness. It's needed for pigs. Laughter so hard. Playful smiles. Die gets wrong. Faith is sorrow like sorrow is thrown upon your flesh. To the last of her kind. To reclaim what's rightfully mine.
shift once again. This is the opening of shifting. This is great. That was a long chunk. I didn't stop it. I didn't want to stop with it because I was like, man, so much is happening. We're going to go back and appreciate. First of all, it's like the bubble over sound coming out of the 4/4 area that we just had. What is that? That's a cool. This thing is like full of treats, man. Talk about just continually pulling your audience's ear in.
Shadows. Tighten up the senses, no fairness. It's needed for
continually building suspension, anticipation. What a thing to do to the ear. It's so good. Again.
Tighten up the senses, no fairness. It's needed for pigs. Laughter so hard. Playful smiles.
We have some style. It's almost like borderline. I mean, the instrumentation is so funky, but there's like some stylistic stuff in the writing that could suggest like classical music. But it's hard to say that with how much like, I don't know, like weird digital Fruity Loops, techno-ist stuff that's going on in the percussion underneath. But you know what I'm saying though? Like the harmonies there, like if you hear that voice style alone, it's so synthetic. It's kind of like hard to listen to. But within the context of this, it makes sense. So let's just get that chunk again.
There's no fairness. It's needed for pigs. Laughter so hard. Playful smiles.
Yeah, you know.
Like it's wrong. Faces sorrow like sorrow is thrown upon your flesh.
Listen to that section, bum bum ba da, and then and like we're going through all the I guess it would be simulated cellos and the bass line and whatever synth voices that are on top of that. That's in the background. The way the chord progression is moving, it's very cool. It's almost Bach like. There's a lot of things are happening.
Faces sorrow like sorrow is thrown upon
Wow.
your flesh. To the last of the kind to reclaim what's rightfully mine.
But of course, the simulated drum set stuff on the top of it, not very Bach-like. So this is cool though, because I feel like it's kind of a cool way to fit in like, you know, a show that's primarily about D&D. And you can just like associate that with that being, you know, older. And the average listener doesn't like, you know, how do I say this? You know, if you play someone that's, you know, a piece of classical music that they might say it's classical, but maybe it's Baroque, or maybe, you know, it's some like neoclassical piece. They're like differentiating between stylistic stuff between composers and eras of music. It doesn't really matter. They'd be like, oh, it's older. It makes sense that we're hearing like some styles that are modern with the way they're being used, because it's an idea of a topic that's like D&D, which feels old because of like wizards, warriors, spells, you know, armor, that kind of stuff. So I kind of get the tie-in here, but musically it is pretty wild. It's kind of a treat to listen to this. Back a couple seconds and we'll keep going through this, I guess, exploration of sounds and ideas.
To the last of the kind to reclaim what's rightfully mine.
And then suddenly we're wide open again. It's big and open. Dun, 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 dun. We get this motif that keeps happening, and it like kind of just suspends over. We have our halftime groove going on. So like there's a lot of stuff happening, you know. It almost felt silly like mentioning like, hey, it has these like stylistic components of music that was, because it is so modern. I could see like any like my previous, you know, theory professors being like, dude, shut up, don't even say that again, you're very wrong. But you know, it's kind of there though, you know. Cool. I like it. Delicate.
Will you be disappointed that I'm
Okay, wow, what a shift. All right, so now it feels like very strongly in 2/4, and we get such an intimate relationship with hi-hat right here. Between hi-hat and string bass, that's really boom to cha, boom to cha, really delivering where we're going. Still great string usage as well.
Will you be disappointed that I'm not who I used to be? Will you hold me tightly? Change unto me my adolescent dreams.
Ooh.
Falling, crash
What?
me deep. All my body
Did you hear that like background percussion? Obviously a variation from before. You know me, variety is the spice of life. I love hearing familiar material with elements that are added, little augmentations that are subtle, but enough to be like, oh yeah, this is still a new listening experience. That's 210. Let's get into it again. Let's go back to like 140. This is, you know, it's pretty cool.
Not who I used to be. Will you hold me tightly? Change unto me my head.
Okay, that's cool. I never would have thought to include that. Shout out to the arrangement here. This is cool.
Hold me tightly. Change unto me my head, oh lesson dreams. Pulling.
Oh, it's tripping me out, man, because magically it feels somewhere else. You know, it's like borrowed rhythms. I mean, it all lines up on the page. You can write it out very easily and read it very easily. But as you know, when you're just listening, it's a cool experience because it just like it's like multiple train tracks happening at the same time, and I dig that kind of stuff. I know that might not be for everybody. It is for me though. It 100% is for me. Again, please.
Change unto me my head, oh lesson dreams. Pulling, drags me down.
It suggests just for a moment. It just suggests that you're going there with the tempo, but you're not at all. So it's a nice big fat polyrhythm just laid on top of each other. And that's cool, man. That's real cool.
All my body exposed, marked up by your shadows. Piece by piece the tables turn and turn again in this eternal game. This kiss with clotted cream and milk tea.
Come on, man.
Time to roll your D20. Gods nor demons ready to defeat. Heat up country cheese, they're not that much.
This is badass.
Smarter than us. Laughter's above. Playful smiles. Die gets rough. Swallow your.
We'll get there in a second. We got to go back. Listen to this development, man. The string part kicks complete ass underneath. The vocal part develops a little bit. And then obviously we're going to jump into probably a little more digified version of what's happening. But I got to say, it's very good writing.
By piece the tables turn and turn again in this eternal game. This kiss with clotted cream and milk.
Yeah, we've got all this counterpoint happening. This is great, man. This is like, we got some species going on. We don't need to talk about counterpoint species in here, but just there's some really cool things happening, dude. This is great. Back to 213. I'll let it go this time. You just got to love this stuff.
In this eternal game. This kiss with clotted cream and milk tea. Time to roll your D20. Gods nor demons ready to defeat.
Oh my God, it's so good. So the main layers for me, you can listen to the fast moving string line. You can listen to the middle layer for me seems to be the vocals and the harmonies that are happening there. And then the bass and cello lines, it's all DAW though. It's all probably not real, whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, echoing back and having their own, it's all just counterpoint happening against each other. And it's quite gorgeous. I know I said one time, I'm sorry, going more. You just got to appreciate this stuff.
This kiss with clotted cream and milk tea. Time to roll your D20. Gods nor demons ready to defeat. Heat up country cheese,
That's
they're
cool.
not that much smarter than us. Laughter's above. Playful smiles. Die gets rough. Swallow your fate to a cage tower blaze with blood and tears. And your piercing screams of music to celebrate. Infiltrate, penetrate, to a heavy destroy. Back to the heart
Yeah, that, you know what? That was a good piece of music. I enjoyed that quite a bit. It makes me want to go back and maybe, maybe we put this, I don't know. What do you think? Should this go on the Patreon eventually? Obviously, leaving out the first episode. I just feel like, I don't know, hearing this, it kind of pulls me back in to be like, well, wait a second. I want to hear that within context of the show because of the reasons we talked about. But, also, that was just a really good arrangement, and the writing is nice, and it was great to hear so much variety and so many musical ideas to come together and just kind of give this almost like, it's like this remix of genres, but kind of like historical with modern. So, I don't know. That's my take on it. In the comments, let me know your take. All right. My name is DrumRollTony. Catch me when I'm live on Twitch. Link for all the socials down in the video description below. Please and thank you. Click that like button. Subscribe to the channel so you can catch the next one. Come watch some anime with me on the Patreon. It's great. We're just missing you. All right. YouTube thinks you should watch this video next. Have a great day. Thanks for being here. Take it easy. Bye-bye.